Alright guys, in this video we'll just see how we can connect to GitHub, and also we'll just see the last part of the commit which happened. So I have added another commit to our current repository, and when I am reviewing the commit, if you see I committed, I added a new file, and file 3 has been added. It created a commit like 88 to F, so that new commit, if you see, this is the new commit which was added. And so for your surprise, you can see that commit actually points to the parent commit. So how do I know it is pointing to the parent commit? You can just check it like this. The commit git cat file print the details of the commit ddf2. So you can see there is a tree, there is an author and committer, and in addition to that there is a parent. So parent was your last commit we did. You see that every commit points to the previous commit. So now it looks like now a linked list. So it's just the node, this node is pointing to the previous node, and the parent is where it is pointing to. Now if you closely see, if I am opening that particular tree, I added a new file. So what does that tree will contain? You see that tree contains 3 files: file 1, file 2, file 3. And file 1 CE01 we already have it, okay, and so there is no need of creating that hashes are already there. 31E0 is also, the contents are already there. File 1 and 2 already there, so there are 3 files added. So the file 1, okay, so the tree will again contain the file names, okay, file 1, file 2, okay, and file 3 is a newly added file. This hash will be different, but this hash is still pointing to the previous hash, okay, and this will also point to the previous hash, and but this will be a new hash which is generated, and that is our 13AB. So 13AB will be a new hash, 13AB. So this is the object model. So as in you keep adding more and more contents, the commits will move ahead, okay. The head will point to always to the master, and the master is your branch. Okay, so the branch, we will discuss on branches later on. So you have one main branch, so where all the commits happen. So this is going to be a branch which you normally use for production, okay, and normally you can have parallel branches, one for development, another for testing, like that. And once your development is completed, then you can merge to your master branch. So this is the way you go ahead. And currently so yeah, so this is the commit. So now what is the next thing which I want you to do is, so if you want to see all the commits, you can just use a git log, and it's going to give you all the logs. You can see it in one line, okay, minus one line, okay. So in one line you can see there are 2 commits happened. One is the initial commit for file 1 and 2, and then another we added another commit, and the head is pointing to the master, and you are in, if you say git branch, actually you can see which branch you are in. Currently the star is pointing to master, that means only one branch. We will later see how to create multiple branches, okay. Might be a feature branch, another is a bug, it might be you have to fix a bug, so you need to don't touch the real master branch. You create a separate copy of the branch, and then bug fix branch, and then might be you fix the bug in the bug fix branch. Later you will merge it with the master branch. So like that you can create different branches. And so currently we are in our so currently we are in our repo 1, and now what we need to do is these 2 commits I want to push it into GitHub. So remember, when now you push into GitHub, okay, so not all files you will be pushing, okay, because some of the code will be compiled versions, binaries, so that code you may not want to push, okay. So currently I have 3 files which I'm okay with that. There is no compilation happening. If at all there is a compilation happening, okay, so for example let me add a file here, file 4 dot, okay, so I'm just putting it just dot class file or something. So I don't want this file to be tracked, okay. If I do git status, so you can see this is tracking. So you normally add a file known as echo. So what I'll do, okay, I will create a uh, file dot git ignore ignore git ignore. So where you can put all the files which you want to ignore. Suppose I say star dot class. So now once I add a git ignore, so then after which I'll do a git status. So git ignore file, you see it's now already tracking git ignore. Whatever content I added in git ignore, it is not tracking it. So dot class files are not even tracked. So see that red is gone now actually. If at all I just name this to dot java. So git the dot ignore is like a configuration file where you want to specifically say which files you want to track. So now when I do git status, you see the file 4 is also coming there. So ignore file you normally use to avoid some files which you don't want to track, especially binaries of code. So when you compile it, unnecessary exes are generated, dot class files are generated, node modules, if you are working with Angular and node modules are there, so much a huge number of node modules will be there. So these things you don't want to track. Neither, remember, you don't want to push this to GitHub. Okay, I don't want to push this to GitHub specifically. Okay, not needed. So I want to now push okay, I don't want this dot class file to go. I'll just put it dot class. Okay, so file 4 is not going to go to the server. So in fact I'll do a git status again. So git ignore is there, but I didn't add and commit. So let me add that file. Git add dot git ignore and git commit. Okay, and I'll say git ignore. So this is done. So now I have a git log. If you see my log in one liner, you can see there are 3 commits. My head is pointing to now 97014f. You can actually try drawing a object model of this. So now 3 commits. So what does this tree contain? So every commit will be pointing to a tree. So that tree will contain now what are the things it contains. So does it contain dot git ignore file? Okay. Likewise, so check it out. Okay, so this is one thing, you can try that and share it with me. Now the whole commit, this repository, I want to push it to GitHub. So GitHub, I'm going to create one simple repository, a dummy repository. I'll create a repository, so I'll call it as repo 1. I think repo 1 is not taken by me, so repo 1 will work. So repo 1 is, you can put any name you want. Currently this is a dummy one. So remember, don't put your project as a repository as of now, because in your project there are node modules and other things. If you want to push the whole project Swabhav repository, so then make sure your git ignore file should contain all that unnecessary things which you want to remove. Okay, for doing that, what you will do is you'll go to gitignore.io in case if you want to try that. Okay, so currently I think you keep the repo 1 only. There is this gitignore.io. Here you can type in Windows operating systems. You see the operating system IDs and programming language. So you can say Windows and operating system and ID. You are going to use what? Visual Studio Code, okay, or Eclipse you are going to use. Put all the IDs you are going to use. Okay, or you're going to use Gradle or Maven or whatever. Okay, or you're going to use Angular. Yeah, so put all that stuffs which you want to add, and then you put a create on it. So make sure you put a create and copy the whole stuff here. You see that this is a git ignore file, so all the extensions which you want to ignore, copy this file and go and copy the contents and put it in your git ignore. So I'm not adding it right now, but I'm just telling you, just make sure you add that. Okay, so don't need to manually do it, you just use the tool like git ignore and do it. If you are making the whole project as a repository, so currently you can make a repo 1 and try this out. Okay, just a simple example, just see if your repositories are getting sync. So once you do that, I want your whole project to be going inside a repo, and you push the repository and share your GitHub link. Unnecessary .class files should not go, exes should not go. Okay, so So that should be taken care, okay, remember. So how do you take care of that? When you do git status, make sure that dot class files are not getting added, okay. So the status command will make sure that you are not adding unnecessary files. So repo 1 is what we want in the remote repository, so keep it public as of now. No need to add any of this, keep all default. I just create a repository, that's it. So I'm making a public repository repo 1, okay, and I want to push this into my current project. So currently, if you see, we have discussed the working directory, index, and local repository. Currently we are working local repository, so now we are going to have an upstream repository. So the upstream is in your remote repository. So the upstream is where modify last commit with the current index change, okay, fine. So what is upstream? So versions of your project that are hosted on the internet or network, ensuring all your changes are available for other developers. The default name is origin. Typical branches here: master, shared feature, x release, xy, like that. Fine. So normally this is your default name is origin, so you give an upstream name as origin, okay. And so default name is origin. So the upstream, when we created a repository, thing like a repository is created on the remote, okay. So I'll show it through diagram. So in my machine there is a repository created, that's fine. So I have how many commits? C1, C2, C3, 3 commits I am having, because C1 and C2 file 1 and 2 added, file 3 added here, C3 was for .ignore. So you have 3 commits here. Now somewhere in the cloud, okay, GitHub account, so I created another repository. So this is also, I named it the same name, repo1, but this doesn't have any commits. This is a clean slate, okay. So it's plain, nothing in there. So now what I need to do is take these commits, put it into here, or I just want to sync between these two guys. When I sync it, all the commits C1, C2, C3, all the 3 commits should come in my remote repository, or this is also known as your upstream repository. So in my upstream I should get all that themes, okay. And yeah, so let's see how do we do that, okay. So this is what we plan to do, pretty easy stuff. So what we need to do is, first I'll have to add git remote, okay. So git remote is a command which I'll have to add a remote upstream repository. So I'll put a git remote and see if I have anything added. -v will show me verbose, nothing added, no, nothing added. So I will say git remote add. You can copy this, or you can see my repository URL is there, okay. So just simply, it's plain simple, I'll do it, no copy paste. I'll just simply say git remote add, okay, origin. So origin is a name or a pet name which we are giving to that upstream, okay. So we have already seen in the documentation. Default name is origin given. If you want to give a separate name, so it is difficult to remember the entire URL, so you give a name to that. So you put the URL here, origin is there, and fine. So this is the URL, you can copy paste from here also. So the remote is added, so you can check it, remote -v. So the origin master is there, you can do fetch and push. So what is the difference, we'll discuss it later on, okay. So it is kind of origin, the URLs are there. So this is your upstream, but I didn't tell this is upstream. So for doing it, I will just okay, I want to push now the content changes. I will say git push upstream. See the command git push upstream, -u means upstream, origin master. So the master branch will be pushed, okay, to the origin, okay, where it is pointing now, okay. Hold on, so I'll show you in your okay, some changes which are happened in your repository. So always it's good to explore this and see. So there is no change in the head points to the master, no change. And where is the master? So in your refs you will have your master branch, and if you see, the master will be pointing to the last commit 9731. So if you see, 9731 was our last commit, so 97031. So this is what means head arrow master, means head points to the master, that's what it is. Fine, that's good. Now when you added a remote repository, so you will also see something like do I get something like hooks, locks, objects? No. Yeah, no, I didn't get anything. Objects, no. Ref heads, master, really fine. I am having only master. Okay. Tags, no, nothing has come yet. No, fine, fine. So now what I'm doing to do is, so where is my Subhav stored origin? So I'm just, so I think I missed somewhere. Okay, somewhere I think it should be storing here. Is in my configuration? Okay, let me check. Yes, it is. So you can see that in my configuration they have added this remote. Okay, they have added this URL, and also it has saying, so this is a remote URL. In case if you want to edit, you can manually come and edit this file, or there are commands which you can fire. Okay, so it internally update this, and the remote is named as origin. Okay, and this is the URL, and you can fetch it from this. Okay, and so let me go and check just to cross verify. So when you make fire a command, if you know the internal working, you can always see what it is. So let us push this. When I do a git push, so what do you think, does it push it, or it will ask me? Yeah, ideally I have already authenticated. So for your case, mostly it will first authenticate. It will first authenticate. So in your Windows, if you're using, use your credentials manager. In your credentials manager, I think they will have already saved it. Okay, and so you can see somewhere my GitHub is there. In case if I remove this, okay, I can actually remove my credentials. You see that? If I remove this, it will ask me for a username and password. Okay, so every time I don't want to do that. Okay, so it is already cached and stored. Otherwise you'll have to add it one time. It will ask you for user ID, password. It will pop up a browser and things like that. So now if I come back to my GitHub, and if I refresh it, you will be able to see I have all the commits saved here. So how many commits I'm having? If you see, where are the commits? Here it is. So you see there are 3 commits. So how many, what is the last time the commit happened? 10 minutes ago. So when you go to any repository, you can see how latest is the repository by looking at the commit. If commit happened 10 years back, or 5, 6 months, 7 months back before, so that means this repository is not like currently active repository. And obviously if you go to the different commits, you can actually see first commit what happened, second commit what happened, likewise. So specifically you can see the changes and things like that which are happened. You can explore and see currently. So currently I want to show you one more stuff here. So let me say git. Okay, so I have git log, right? So like git log minus one line. So I am having, oh, now there is a small change. Yeah, I think this was the happened. So there is a origin slash master is also, head points to the master, and there is a origin slash master. So origin slash master, I think we didn't find origin slash master anyway. It was ref heads. Yeah, ref heads I think has a remotes, and there is a origin slash master. Yeah. So once we added remote, okay, if you see the remote or the upstream branch, I think they have added one more thing, origin master, and the origin master is also pointing to the, okay, the last commit 970314b. So this is cool. Now in case suppose you are collaborating with somebody, and might be you are doing a commit from another person does a commit. Currently I cannot show you that, so but I can just replicate it the same thing. If I go and make a change in file 3, okay, and so I just say, okay, hello again and again, okay, from remote repo, somebody pushed it to the remote repository this. Okay, so you normally don't do that, but there is one commit happened. So mostly this is done by another person, but I'm just showing you this. Okay, maybe another person does it and he pushes the changes here. So this is a new commit, and now if I go to the repo, you can see I would have 4 commits happened 10 seconds ago. Now if I do a git status or git log, so you could see my current head is still pointing here only, 9701, right? But my origin might be already ahead. Origin might be gone one step ahead. You see that origin may have gone one step ahead. There are 4 commits. After 97, you can see it has gone ahead. It is B66. So what will you do if I want to get that change? Okay, it is pretty simple. So you push the change, so definitely you do the opposite, you git pull. So when you do git pull, so it just tries to pull it, and so it will do 9700 and it updates the new commit and it fast forwards that. So my branch, if I do a git status or git log, you can see my origin, and so the origin was one commit, and B66, right? B66 has come and my master automatically forwarded. See, master was pointing here in .git ignore, and master automatically went ahead, so I didn't do anything, I just did a pull only. So that is how fast it is just moving ahead. So the master automatically went ahead, and so all the commits file 3 update. So everything happened, and in fact if I go and check my current folder, so okay, so this is the way you do push and pull. Just have a look at push and pull. Currently we are not collaborating with another person, so that I'll show you in coming video. So currently you are on the same. So now if you see, I should get again and again, hello again and again from the remote repo, so you get that all changes back. So now the most important thing is time travel. So I do a git log. If I do a git log, I can just see now okay, git log, if you see that it's just filling all that, so you use the up arrow and down arrow. Okay, so because this is filling the whole page, I'll have to use a down arrow to come down. Okay, okay, or I think I can exit Q command to quit out of that. Okay, you can quit from that also. Q is Q is a VI editor command, quitting out of that. And up and down key is then used to arrow up and down. So currently this is so verbose, so we'll put it in one line. Git log minus one line, not online, one line. Okay, so currently you see I have 4 commits are there, but alright, so everything good. Now what if I want to see, I want to try and travel to the past 88 DD like this. Okay, so one thing I can do is git checkout. I can say git checkout. Okay, paste that particular hash. So now you guys see this, the whole stuff has changed, and second commit, I don't know, so again and again will not be there. Hello again, hello world, all these things are there. So what if I want to time travel? Okay, so again I'll say git checkout. If I want to go back, I'll say git checkout master branch again. So I'm back to master. Okay, and so there is a small thing I'll have to address. Okay, when I do git checkout, you see the master, where is the head pointing? Let's have a quick look at where is the head pointing. You see the head now going to point to, where is the head points? See, directly head points not to master. Okay, so does the head always point to master? No. Okay, get head, now the head is moved, head is pointing to this particular commit. So you are in a detached mode, or commonly they say what, switching to this, you are in a detached head. Okay, matlab head is moved, so you moved the head from the master, so that is why somebody cut your head. That's what detached head means. So you cut the head and you put it elsewhere. Okay, so not a good thing to do. We will check out master, so we don't want to take somebody's head. Okay, so let's take, so you can just check what happened like that. Now another important thing is, what if I lose all my data? So think that I lost all the stuff here. So if I do a git status, everything gone. Now how do I get all the data back? Think that you get a .git folder, okay, only from someone. Can I restore everything back? Now see this, guys. So we have 3 commits now. Okay. So when I do a git checkout to 88f2, so what does this do? It is restore the tree. It was restoring the tree. So I can simply say git checkout if I know the hash. Okay. If I know the hash, I can simply say git checkout ddf2. Git checkout ddf2. Oops. So will I get it? Yeah. So file 3. Okay. Where is file 1 gone? Oh, file 3 only it has taken, but file 1 I have already deleted. File 1 and 2 is already deleted. Oh, so that is the problem. So I'll do what do I do is, because if you see, this file were actually pointing to the another tree. So what we'll do, we'll go back to the first case, git checkout. Okay, 958C. Okay, so no, nothing, I don't have anything. So oh, these files are also gone. So what do I do now? Okay, let's say git checkout master. Okay, I'm in the master branch, but all the files are deleted. But what do I do now? Okay, git checkout -f. Okay, so I will have to do a force checkout. Okay, sometimes I'll have to force checkout. So when I do a force checkout, okay, so you see I get everything back. Okay, hello world and hello and everything is there. So all my files are there. So in case if you miss everything, okay, nothing to worry. Okay, so because git log, if you see the log, everything is there. You can actually move on to that particular if you want, you can move on to that particular thing, but that files are anyway deleted from your current working directory. So what is the only option you are having is you restore everything back. So that's what git checkout -f will do. So it will check out everything back. Okay, everything will be restored. Now what we can do is, now I can say git checkout to a particular 958C. So 958C, I can check out to that, and now initial commit, you see we had only 2 files, so everything is intact. So play around with this. So just see if you can push it into GitHub. Okay, so retrieve the values, do a git push and pull, and so your repository which you are having okay, your subhab repo, so make a subhab repo, put all the code of subhab repo inside it, and try to push it. Okay, make sure before you pushing it, definitely you have to do a git add commit and all that thing. So if you have multiple files, you want to add it together, so there is an easy way you can do. Okay, so rather than you keeping and adding everything, okay, so let me do a git checkout master. And so if you are adding many files together, let's say I'm adding a file 4 and 5, echo file 4, okay, and echo file 5 into file 5.txt. I'm putting some content there, and so in git status, if I don't want to add every file one by one, I can do a git add whatever in my current directory dot. So when I do a dot, all the untracked files will automatically get added. So you can do a git status on it and do a git commit -m file 4 and 5. So that's it. So you added one more commit, and that just do a git push. Okay, that's it. So when you do a git push, so the upstream branch is already set. So how do you know the upstream is set? You can just git remote -v, you can see the upstream branch is already set, so this will push it there automatically. And so you can try push and pull, and definitely you can just check here. So this will be in sync now. try different updates, you can see file 4 and 5 happened, so everything is in sync. So just try this out and send your repos and your updates to me, okay, in person on Telegram.